Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. As you can see from beautiful Throgg, we're going to be taking Norska today, doing some Jurassic Park action. So let's go ahead and jump to the army compositions. I've got Throgg, of course, anti-large armor piercing with frostbite, very good in this matchup. Also has regeneration, copious vomit, which is actually pretty decent now. Fight or Die, and the Wintertooth Crown in particular. A very nice item, gives an area of effect unbreakable. It's very, very decent. For the rest of the army, we've got some Norscan Ice Wolves and Beasts of Tashnar. Front line is going to be a mix of Marauders and Marauder Berserkers. You can see that we kind of got this staggered formation. Brutes the Hound, I believe. Nope, just regular Marauder Berserkers all the way across. We've got two Famir with Great Weapons, or actually no, one Famir with Great Weapon. The other one is going to be the Mist Stalkers. Then we've got a Famir Balefiend Lore of Shadows, two Marauder Hunter Javelins to bring up the rear. Let's go ahead and take a look at this Lizard Force. We've got a Skink Priest Lore of Heavens and a Skink Chief. Good old Walmart Krokar, the Saurus Old Blood on his cold one here. Then for a front line, we've got four Saurus Warriors, two Temple Guard to back them up, a single Feral Cold One with two Cold One Spear Riders. We've also got two Chameleon Skinks for some range support, so relatively straightforward Lizardman build. And yeah, both of us just kind of have a headstrong run at you kind of build, so let's see how it does here. You can see the Norskins kind of cresting the hill, coming towards these Lizardmen out on the flanks. We're going to be getting a little bit of a pitched engagement in this forest here. Going to screen out the Skinks using these Marauders and then get the main line going. The Marauder Hunters with Javelins are going to be focus firing on either of these two characters. They're both going to be good picks. You can see the Saurus Oldblood dives into the front line here, so we're going to immediately just put Throgg on him, stick him to him, and come in here. Throgg will do a ton of damage to this guy, so he definitely does not want to stay and take this fight. You can see even one swing does about 10% HP damage, so man, Throgg has quite the jump attack there. Very nice penumbral pendulum coming down from that Famir Balefiend, and you can see Saurus Warriors just suffering all the way across the board. And I need to do some testing, but I think that Saurus Warriors will more or less lose to Berserkers one-on-one, but with the support of the Famir and all these other troops in here especially, it'll be pretty rough. Even these Temple Guard are going to have a pretty tough time here. We're going to stick Enfeebling Foe on this group here, just so that those Mist Stalkers will deal more effectively with them. You can see the Javelins have dealt with that Skink Priest, no problem. So next up, we're probably going to be turning our attention to the Skink Chief here. Cold-Blooded and so on has been used on the Saurus Oldblood to bring him back up to health. He's juiced up his melee stats, but still, Throgg's just going to kick him in the teeth here, and the Famir Balefiend also wanting to get involved. Going to sunder the armor of everyone in this pocket. And Saurus Oldblood actually didn't get hit by that, but yeah. Throgg has taken a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. He's taken some damage from these Temple Guard and this Saurus Oldblood, but the fact that he regenerates makes him a pretty tanky character, and his splash attacks are also going to prevent him from getting hit too much here. We've got the Balefiend in support, and yeah, Throgg's in some danger, but overall bounce power pretty far in my favor. We've collapsed this flank super hard, and the Norscan rush is real, just kind of rolling up the flank here with the Famir and Marauders getting in here. Very beautiful cinematic combat, and unfortunately those Lizardmen going to be taken down. Looks like Cold-Blooded used on the Saurus Warriors, probably a bit of a misclick there, but yeah, Temple Guard going to be terrified away and chased down and finished off here. The man, those Regiment of Renowned Famir are awesome. And nice Wind Blast coming down from my opponent, but they're going to be a little bit too little too late. His magical support was pretty on point. That Skink Priest did come back and give some support here, but unfortunately not enough. Saurus Oldblood with the Harmonic Convergence, despite everything, just doesn't have the combat stats to stand up to Throgg, and Throgg's going to see him off there. And yeah, at this point, throw up on the back of the Temple Guard here. So yeah, fun stuff. You can see all across the board the Hounds are just chasing down those Chameleon Skinks, and it is a victory for Norska. So well played to my opponent. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Nice quick one, so we're going to jump into another one right after this, but I wanted to bring this to you guys. I've been playing around with Norska, and I'm planning on doing an overview of them, but I wanted to wait until I got a few more games under my belt, similar to how I did an overview of the 30th Anniversary Regiments of Renown and the two new the High Elves and the Dark Elves, their new stuff. I'm going to do the same for Norska, but I do want to get a few more games under my belt, just make sure I kind of have a feel, even if I don't necessarily have the best build. I want to get a feel for each matchup and just kind of see, you know, matchup by matchup, how things will go, so I can talk about that a little bit when I'm doing the stat analysis. So yeah, but overall, very fun battle. yeah, the Famir definitely MVPs, just the Berserkers as well, just cut through sores super hard. I'll need to mess around with the Lizardman builds and see what you can do to mitigate this, but I'm thinking you're probably going to go super heavy with missiles for the Lizardmen and just try and shoot the Berserkers up too much before they can get to your front line. I'll have to do some tinkering around and see, like I said, but yeah, pretty rough stuff for the Lizardmen. Throgg's just such a world beater, the Berserkers and the Famir and everything working together. I mean, for a faction that's designed to kill monsters, you can best believe that, yeah, Norskins are very good at it, and it definitely shows against the Lizardmen. So in the second battle, usually I don't show off battles where my opponent doesn't bring a caster, but in this battle, I just wanted to specifically show off some handgunner play because, you know, Turin recently showed off some handgunners, and I've been using them a little bit here and there on ladder. They definitely have been mostly fixed. A lot of their line of sight issues seem to be mostly better, and they definitely can be effective. So let's go ahead and take a look at the builds here briefly. I've got Karl Franz and the Royal Altdorf squad over on this side. He's going to be on his horse. He's got Reikland Runefang and Stand Your Ground for that juicy melee attack and leadership and melee defense buff that he's going to be applying to these Royal Altdorf Griffites, and perhaps these Zintler's Reichsguard as well, who are also in this pocket. We've also got the Galmaraz, plus 16 bonus versus large and 40% AP, going to be very pertinent for hunting dinos. We've also got a Jade Wizard here. Front line is going to be 4 Spearmen with shields with the Sigmar Sons backing up the rear, 3 handgunners, 2 of them here, and the Regiment of Renown Silver Bullets going to be here. They're going to be good against Krokar, especially when he has that Sacred Spawning of Zodal up, because it gives him some physical resistance, so these guys will cut straight through that. We've also got another unit of Reichsguard over on the far side. For my opponent's build, he's got Crocky G up on Grimlock here, 2 Feral Bastillodons, 2 Croxagors, 2 Skink Cohort through the center with some Chameleon Skinks. We've also got Cold One Spear Riders, Cold One Riders, and Feral Cold Ones, and the Mirror out on this flank. So overall, a pretty decent build, except for the fact that it lacks a caster. And I mean, you could even cut like one of these Feral Bastillodons, or, you know, a multitude of these different units to get a caster. Of course, it's always in your favor to bring a caster. And for those of you who want to learn more about different lores of magic, I do have a guide about each lore of magic that I published a while ago. I'll try and remember to make a playlist and link it down in the description below, so that those of you who are interested can check it out. But I definitely recommend in any and every matchup, unless you're playing as the dwarves and you literally can't bring a caster, there's no reason for you not to. So just a bit of a PSA there. But yeah, you can see we're just kind of feeling things out a little bit here, trying to bait an engagement. Obviously the Silver Bullets have stock, but they have just been revealed, and they're going to start popping off shots here. And oh man, I've missed that sound. Handgunners are such a cool unit. You can see both units firing in here as well on some of these big dinos over here. Ooh, a little bit of friendly fire from that Hammer of Witches, but I'm going to get caught on the back hoof with these Reichsguard a little bit here, which is a bit unfortunate, but I'm really investing all my micro into this more important fight over here, where Karl Franz and the Royal Altdorf squad has juiced up all these cav. They're going to be fighting a very pitched battle against a whole bunch of Cold One Riders, Feral Cold Ones, and Crocky G himself, of course. We're going to be supporting with that Life Wizard. My opponent very wisely got some Croc scores around the flank. Going to be rear charging here, which will be decently effective. Croc scores aren't going to do great in this kind of fight, but the Silver Bullets also shooting them in the back and doing some pretty nice damage. You can see they're getting some good fire in here. Karl Franz getting some swipes in with his Galmaraz up especially. He'll do a lot of damage to Krokar, and you can see Krokar's taking the south end of this engagement very badly. The Knights of the Empire definitely holding the day here so far. Meanwhile, in the center pocket, you can see we've been compromised a little bit. The cannon crew has been inundated by some Feral Cold Ones, but we've got some handgunners firing in here. The other handgunner unit had got some good work done about halfway to an XP shed run, give or take, before they got compromised, but we're going to be able to resecure them shortly. Reichsguard over here holding the line. We're trying to extricate them from some of these Cold Ones on this side, and the Spearmen with shields going to be being used as a screen there. And now Krokar coming back in over here. I was trying to pull Franz back so that we could try and get Krokar to overextend. He's going to do a lot of damage to Franz, but then I've got the Royal Altdorf squad on station and Karl Franz, and since Krokar pulled through his own lines, he doesn't have any support here, so Franz is going to get in here with these last few Royal Altdorf crit fights and pretty much finish the job on Krokar, just about. You can see he's taking a beating. The Royal Altdorf Griffites are also taking a beating, but Zintler's Reichsguard dispatched to help deal with the Cold One Riders who had got onto those Silver Bullets there. And yeah, you can see Krokar going to actually be taken down by Franz himself here, so very cool stuff. Chameleon Skinks only are able to watch in horror as Krokar falls. We're going to drop another Earthblood here just to try and keep these Royal Altdorf Crit Fights on the field, but they're so low at this point that that Skink Fire will probably get rid of them. The center pocket, some units got compromised. My opponent did a pretty good job of getting into the back line here and trying to munch on some of my gunpowder units, but they were just able to resist long enough that because we won that side engagement so decisively, the leadership factor is now going in my favor. You can see handgunners have regrouped here, as have these Reichsguard, so we're going to be bringing them back around. The Zindler's Reichsguard coming up and looking for a good target here. We're going to come over to these handgunners on this side and try and spring them loose, and that's going to develop into another big pitched engagement as my opponent throws in a whole bunch of forces afterwards. You can see the Zindler's Reichsguard, very beautiful cinematic charge coming in here, and now here come the Cold One Spear Riders, and I don't know, who's Gary's crazy feral cousin? I guess you guys will have to let me know, or Gary yourself, if you have a crazy cousin. Who's this guy right here? Because clearly he's one of the wild ones, because he doesn't have anything strapped to his back. But yeah, unfortunately the leadership factor, like I said, just not able to hold at this point. We're going to be finishing off these feral units here, and these Cold One Riders. Franz is rallying to this pocket with the silver bullets, and at that point my opponent does admit defeat. So well played, my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed watching those two Jurassic Park hunts. Yeah, definitely like this build quite a bit. I'd have to do a bit more testing with it. I don't know if it's necessarily optimal, but you kind of have answers for a lot of different things. I definitely would recommend against the Hammer of Witches if you're on a very terrain-heavy map with lots of hills and forests and stuff. Trade that out for something else, but on an open map like the Altdorf Outskirts that we were fighting on there, can definitely get some good work done. Didn't actually get any kills, but was mostly shooting at high-value single targets, and then got inundated there, so that was a little bit rough, but handgunners did decently well. They were definitely able to do a lot of HP damage to like these Kroxigors, and the two Feral Bastillodons just got gunned down as well. Franz and the Royal Altdorf squad, of course, taking down Krokars, a key engagement, and yeah, if you'd had a couple more heroic units, you would have had a couple more casts of Cold-Blooded as well to heal Krokar. So definitely would have wanted that, I'm sure. But anyway, fun battles at the end of the day. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.